Hi everyone, I'm Jim Ryan, President and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. I'm delighted to be here today to introduce what's next for PlayStation 5.
So, Sony has decided to compete for the gold in the anti-consumer competition and announced the price increase for their PlayStation Plus subscription service for all three tiers. Essential tier subscription that currently costs $60 a year will now be priced at $80. PlayStation Plus Extra is increased by $35 from $100 to $135, and premium subscription by $40 from $120 to $160. So the obvious question is why? This is a very significant price hike, so there should be an explanation to that or some additional benefits, right? Well, let's check how Sony explains it in their blog post. This price adjustment will enable us to continue bringing high-quality games and value-added benefits to your PlayStation Plus subscription service. And that's it. That's the whole explanation. No benefits, nothing is added, they've just increased the price by over 30% without doing anything at all. And what I love the most in announcements like this is what I actually refer to as linguistic juggling. The word adjustment sounds much better than increase, which it actually is, and also enable us sounds like something necessary for the existence, like without this price adjustment they can't continue to provide services and whole Sony would just collapse the next day. So let me translate from corporate bullshit to English. We have increased the price because we can. But can they really? Wouldn't this decision result in a decline of the subscribers number for this service? Well, the funny thing is, we'll never know for sure, because recently Sony has decided to stop disclosing subscriber numbers for PlayStation Plus, though we will be able to speculate, of course. If in the next, let's say, a year, nothing will change related to the format of the service, or no new benefits will be added, it would probably mean that this price increase has worked and people still buy the subscription. On the other hand, if we will see some new amazing offers, then it would most likely mean that something goes quite wrong. But anyway, let's talk for a moment about this subscription service in general. Is it even worth your money? Well, there are three tiers, as you're well aware. Essential, which is the old PlayStation Plus, which has been around for over a decade. It's simply a multiplayer access. They also throw 3-4 free games each month, but really it's mostly for multiplayer, as these games are usually not that compelling. Funnily enough, the announcement for price increase was in the same blog post as the reveal of the next month games added to Essential tier, and let's just say I'm not really hyped about any of those games. Let's move on to Extra tier. Now this one is fine. I am subscribed to this tier myself, and for $100 a year it's actually quite decent. It has all Essential tier benefits, but also includes a library of hundreds of games. This subscription is great when you have nothing to play, which is crazy thing to say in 2023, as every month we get more and more wonderful games and there's just not enough time for everything. I haven't finished Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield is already coming out, and the fall is looking absolutely insane with MK1, Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, new Assassin's Creed, then Nintendo will be releasing new Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's just way too many games. But if you've just purchased PS5 and just want to play some games, PlayStation Plus Extra is a great thing. You get access to older PS5 titles like Returnal, Ratchet & Clank, Horizon, plus many more other great games. So it's not that bad. What is bad is the premium tier. And I feel like it's a special tier for people who are about to get Extra, but hey, this one is only $20 more, so why not get this one? The problem with Premium is that it doesn't provide any additional benefits that are worth its price. Let's just check what it's supposed to offer. First thing is many additional games, including PS3 games via cloud streaming and some classic games from PS1, PS2 and PSP. And I wouldn't go too deep into why I don't like cloud streaming, it would be too much for this video, But cloud streaming instead of actual emulation on the console just shows how lazy Sony really are. Some might say that there are technical difficulties with that, but if a bunch of programmers were able to create a working PS3 emulator for PC, for Sony, with their access to all internal tools and the source code, it would be certainly possible to emulate older games on PS5. They've just decided not to do it. As of their classic games library, I'm sorry, but it fades in comparison with what Nintendo provides with their Switch Online expansion pack. And remember when they announced it and people were upset with the price of $50 a year? Now, actually, it's a great deal as it includes numerous amazing games, and not just any games. The iconic titles like Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. It also has Sega Genesis and Game Boy Advance games, and it's expanding over time. Sony can certainly do better, they just don't seem to care that much. Another benefit of Premium is time-limited game trial, which is the funniest thing about all that. It might be the worst marketing decision in the history of video games. Why would you paywall an access to trial versions when the main point of these trials is for people to check the game and potentially buy it? Why would you take an example from EA? It's like paywalling demo version, which is essentially serving the same purpose as a trial. It's an advertising tool. Don't you want people to buy your games? Please someone tell me that I am missing something here, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. So overall, I would not recommend the premium tier for anyone, but extra is fine. It could be better, but it's fine. Now, the last thing I want to mention is that only a couple months ago Microsoft increased prices for Game Pass, and yet it didn't cause that much outrage in the community like Sony's announcement did. There are a couple reasons, and the main one is that the price hike wasn't as big. Microsoft increased the monthly subscription cost for Ultimate tier from $15 to $17, so yearly it would be an increase from $180 to $204, only by $24, not $40 like in case for PlayStation Plus Premium. And another main thing to remember, and I'm sure even hardcore PlayStation fans would agree with me, is that PS Plus is inferior to Game Pass due to one simple thing. Game Pass includes the biggest titles at launch. You could play Halo Infinite day one with Game Pass, and probably the biggest and most important Xbox release of this generation, Starfield, is also included. Now imagine if Sony would add Final Fantasy XVI or Spider-Man 2 in their subscription service to be available at launch. I would probably buy Premium for that. At least I would strongly consider it. The sad thing in this situation is that I actually love PlayStation. It's a great platform with many amazing games, and I hope that in time Sony will bring players more positive things instead of disappointments like this one. And that's all from me for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Consider subscribing to the channel if you liked this video. And as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.